Two celestial bodies were driven near to each other. The interior of the terrestrial globe pushed towards the exterior. The Earth, disturbed in its rotation, developed heat. The land surface became hot. Various sources of many peoples describe the melting of the Earth's surface and the boiling of the sea. The earth burst and lava flowed. The Mexican sacred book, Popol Vuh, the manuscript of Cacachacuel, the manuscript Torono, all record how the mountains in every part of the Western Hemisphere simultaneously gushed lava. The volcanoes that opened, excuse me, the volcanoes that opened along the entire chain of the Cordilleras and in other mountain ranges and on flat and in other mountain ranges and on flat land vomited fire, vapor, and torrents of lava. These and other Mexican sources relate how, at the closing hours of the age that was brought to an end by the rain of fire, mountains swelled under the pressure of molten masses and new ridges rose. New volcanoes sprang out of the earth and streams of lava flowed out of the cleft earth. Events underlying Greek and Mexican traditions are narrated in the scriptures. The mountains shake with the swelling, the earth melted. Clouds and darkness, fire, the earth saw and trembled. The hills melted like wax. He looketh on the earth, and it trembleth. He toucheth the hills, and they smoke. The earth trembled, the mountains melted, even that Sinai. He rebuketh the sea, and maketh it dry, and drieth up all the rivers. The mountains quake at him, and the hills melt, and the earth is burned, yea, the world and all that dwell therein. The rivers steamed, and even the bottom of the sea boiled here and there. The boiled sea, all the shores of the ocean boiled, all the middle of it boiled, says the Zend Avesta. The star Tistra made the sea boil. The traditions of the Indians retain the memory of this boiling of the water in the river and sea. The tribes of British Columbia tell great clouds appeared, such a great heat came that finally the water boiled. People jumped into the streams and lakes to cool themselves and died. On the North Pacific coast of America, the tribes insist that the ocean boiled. It grew very hot. Many animals jumped into the water to save themselves, but the water began to boil. The Indians of the southern Ute tribe in Colorado record in their legends that the rivers boiled. Jewish tradition, as preserved in the rabbinical sources, declares that the mirror at the bottom of the Sea of Passage was heated. The Lord fought against the Egyptians with the pillar of cloud and fire. The mire was heated to the boiling point by the pillar of fire. The rabbinical sources say also that the pillar of fire and of smoke leveled mountains. Hesiod, in his Theogony, relating the upheaval caused by the celestial collision, says, the huge earth groaned. A great part of the huge earth was scorched by the terrible vapor and melted as tin melts when heat by man's art, or as iron, which is hardest of all things, is softened by glowing fire in mountain glens. According to the traditions of the New World, the profile of the land changed in a catastrophe. New valleys were formed, mountain ridges were torn apart, new gulfs were cut out, ancient heights were overturned, and new ones sprang up. The few survivors of the ruined world were enveloped in darkness. The sun in some way did not exist, and in intervals in the light of blazing fires they saw the silhouettes of new mountains. The Mayan sacred book, Popol Vuh, says that the god rolled mountains and removed mountains, and great and small mountains moved and shaked. Mountains swelled with lava. Kane Raya Viracocha, the god of the Incas, raised mountains from the flatland and flattened other mountains. And similarly, when Israel went out of Egypt, the sea saw and fled. The mountains skipped like rams, and the little hills like lambs. Iams. Tremble, thou earth, at the presence of the Lord, which moveth the mountains, which overturneth them in his anger, which shaketh the earth out of her place, which commandeth the sun, and it riseth not, which alone spreadeth out the heavens, and treadeth upon the waves of the sea. All right.